woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 290th edition of TSR Primetime, your nightly dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Thursday, July 5th, 2018. Hope everybody had a safe 4th of July. Hopefully no one got any DUIs. Hopefully no one's expecting any Valentine's Day babies, if my math is correct. So if you knock her up on July, let's see, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Wow, I was way off. Well, let's hope that you don't have an April Fool's baby, right? Hopefully, those of you who got lucky last night, those of you who got laid last night, were wise enough to use a condom. Not gonna be having bitches talking about April Fools. I'm pregnant or April Fools. Here's a baby. Here's a kid. Good to have you guys in tonight. There we go. Let me switch screens there. Excellent. Excellent. All right, we are streaming live simultaneously to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and DonovanSharpe.com. We're not streaming to Instagram, of course, because we have a guest on, one Rian Stone. Just waiting for him to appear there on the camera. 914-205-5356. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to tell me what's on your mind. If you have a question, comment for either myself or my guest, personal stories you'd like to share and whatnot, 914-205-5356 is the number to call. If you don't want to call, you can always chat. It is right next to the video player, to the right of the video player. If the video is running a little bit slowly, guys, okay, just click the video only link just underneath the player, and that should do the trick. All right. You guys can follow, add, and like me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe on all three platforms. For all things Donovan Sharpe, go to DonovanSharpe.com. There you will find all of my content, which includes all episodes, appearances, and of course the archive of better than 200 articles I have written for Return of Kings, as well as NegroManosphere.com. If you want to contribute to the show, go to www.streamlabs.com/Donovan's Den. That's www.streamlabs.com/Donovan's Den. You can use any credit or debit card. You can use PayPal, and you can also use Bitcoin. So if you like the show, you get something out of it, drop a little something in the tip jar at streamlabs.com/Donovan's Den. Every little bit counts, guys. No contribution is too big or too small. Let me give a shout out to my mod squad in the house. Kevin Teddy Waffle Tarver on the Facebook side. Good to see you in here. We got Captain Crunch 420, Heathen Deluxe in the house. Sharpe Assist in the house. Red Jedi, what's going on? We got Yeah Buddy. It's an interesting name. I like that. Sherm King. Manesh. Good to have you guys all in tonight. Well, before my guest comes on, I guess I'll go ahead and preface what we're going to talk about by letting you guys know that obviously, when a man finds the red pill, right? You know, he's practicing good habits, he's learning game. Everything seems to be going well. Well, what inevitably happens is that other women are going to find him attractive. A man who, not necessarily new to red pill game, but a man who finds the red pill, he improves himself, he's lifting weights, he's eating right, taking good care of himself, financially in the black, he's more confident, looks better, dresses better, the whole bit. That man is going to draw a lot more female attention. Well, inevitably, as all men do, we find one girl, or maybe several girls, but we narrow it down. Okay, we actually meet and we start fucking a girl who, hey, you know what? I think I might want to keep her around for a little while. I think I might want to be in a long-term relationship with her. Of course, you groom her, you train her properly, and before you know it, you're in a long-term relationship, red pill style. But what trips most men up is maintaining your red pill awareness, maintaining your red pill game within the context of a sexual relationship with a woman. It is very, listen, I'm here to tell you, I'm in a long-term relationship. I'm in a long-term relationship right now. I live with my girlfriend. No, we are not married. But again, it is very different. It is a very different dynamic now than it was when we lived separately from one another. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what it takes to maintain your red pill frame while in a relationship. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free, rather, to put them in the comments section. You can also, now while I'm streaming, I'm actually streaming live on Facebook and Twitter, as well as YouTube. So if you have a question or comment, as long as I'm streaming on those platforms, feel free to put your question or comment in there. Shout out to Stephen Brown on the Facebook side. What's going on? Yeah, Buddy says, Grom from Ronnie Coleman. I'm not really sure what that means. Ronnie Coleman. I was thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking Ronnie Coleman, is that the bodybuilder? Whatever the case may be. All right, we got our first caller on the line. Let me jump him on. Area code 504. You are on live with Donovan. What's up, brother?
Hi, how you doing?
Doing good. You?
Pretty good. Just glad to, this is my first time ever calling in.
Good. All right. Well, listen, thanks for calling in, man. What's on your mind?
No problem. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on incels?
What are my thoughts on incels?
Yes.
I don't really have much thought for incels. I think that incels, I mean, obviously incels are getting a lot of publicity, as of late. Incels are probably responsible for most, of the school shootings. Alec Manassian up in Canada, running people over, mass killings, et cetera, et cetera. I think that incels are, and it's funny. Like there's two schools of thought with incels. You either feel sorry for them, or you just kind of ignore them. I don't feel sorry for them. I do feel bad for them because incels, a lot of them have made the choice to check out of the sexual market. They have made the conscious decision to remove themselves from the dating scene. They don't want to have anything to do with women at all, right?
Sort of like MGTOW?
No. Again, MGTOWs and incels are two different animals. Now, you could have a MGTOW who is also an incel. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you watched the Red Man group. We had Turd Flinging Monkey, who is a self-proclaimed MGTOW, but he is an incel. He is married to a sex doll. And I think MGTOW sort of gets thrown into that incel category. A lot of people think that MGTOWs are incels, and that, listen, nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, are a lot of MGTOWs incels? Absolutely. A lot of red pill guys are incels. But just because you're a MGTOW does not necessarily mean that you are an incel. Where do you fall in that? Are you an incel? Are you a MGTOW? What do you consider yourself to be?
Well, at the moment, I'd say I'm more on the incel side.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. All right. You have had sex before, though, correct?
No.
Okay. All right. How old are you?
18.
Oh, dude. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Well, here's the thing, man. If you're 18 years old and you haven't had sex yet, you're on the right path. Number one, you called my show, which means that you're aware of my content. You're obviously aware of the red pill community. You are miles ahead. Yeah, you're miles ahead of most 18-year-olds who have never had sex in their lives before. Now, again, an incel is defined as someone who wants to have sex but can't. You are an involuntary celibate. Have you ever come close to having sex? Like, what's the issue here? Why do you think you haven't had sex yet?
I've honestly never had the confidence.
Okay. Where do you live, if you don't mind me asking? I see the area code is 504. Are you in Louisiana?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about the confidence.
Wait 1 second.
Waiting for my man Rian Stone to make an appearance here.
Hello?
Wait, is this not working?
No, I can hear you, Ryan.
Yeah, but can you not see me?
Nope. I can see your.
That's why I thought you had me muted out here while you're waiting.
No, man. No, dude, I was sitting there waiting on you. I mean, I can see your icon. Jumping back and forth. I can't. When you first came on, I was able to see you, but I guess for whatever reason, I'm not able to see you. So.
No worries. Give me 2 seconds.
All
I'll have
right,
it
take
go.
your time, man. I got somebody on the line. So I actually had someone in the chat here. There he is. I actually had someone in the chat here say that you're not, like, you're a virgin. You're not an incel. Listen, I mean, as virgins could be incels could be virgins, but talk to me about the confidence thing. You said you think that confidence is the biggest roadblock when it comes to you not being able to have sex with women yet, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Well, I've always been, I guess, sort of isolated.
Okay.
And just socializing in general has been an issue.
Why? Why do you say that? Do you not talk to people at all, or do you just stay shut up, or how's this working?
I do. I'm just naturally shy.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, naturally shy people do get laid. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, this might seem like a stupid question, but do you want to get laid? Like, are you trying to fuck pretty girls?
I am.
All right. Well, listen, man, thanks for calling in. I would say, listen, stay on DonovanSharpe.com. Definitely listen to the rest of the show. At some point, I guess I will have to do a show on incels, I guess, because everybody's doing it. But tonight, we're actually talking about maintaining red pill frame within the context of a sexual relationship. Which means which does not include incels. But 504, I definitely appreciate the call. Feel free to call back when you can. Ryan in the house. So let me go ahead and give you a proper introduction, guys. My guest tonight is a moderator on both the Red Pill and Married Red Pill subreddit. He is also a frequent panelist on the Red Man Group. His blog can be found at ryanstone.blogspot.com. I'm actually going to put that I'm going to put that link in the blog post on my website. You can follow him on Twitter at _Ryan_Stone. So please joining me in welcoming Rian Stone to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. A little tired. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I've been sitting in front of my computer for the better part of the last 5 or 6 hours trying to. I've got some things on the horizon that I'm kind of sort of working on. I had a situation that I had to deal with a little bit earlier, but other than that, probably. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Probably not as tired as you are. Let me ask you something, because this is interesting. And you and I, we talk all the time on the Red Man Group, but did you find the red pill before you got married or after you got married?
Oh, after.
Wow. Okay.
I'll do a quick timeline for you.
Yeah, definitely.
2011 or 2012, I got posted to Montreal from my base in Esquimalt, Victoria, BC.
Okay.
So the military promised me a couple extra grand and a stipend for the girlfriend at the time if we had signed up for common law. So we signed the paperwork to make a little bit of money. Like, we were already together, so it didn't really matter. And that's kind of where our marriage status was there. Signed up so we could do a cross-country trip across America and make 50 extra bucks a day plus a couple grand. So
hell yeah. Sweet. All right.
The discovery didn't happen until would have been 2014. I don't talk about it much, but it was basically fucked over up and down by my chain of command in the military, and everybody kind of has those stories. I remember when you're a brand new OD, you always hear about a guy's like tells you his sad story about what the military did to him, and you're just like, oh fuck, whatever. No, there's no way they did that. And then it happens, you're like, oh yeah, I guess they do. And it was just the perfect timing. So I brag about me being the one guy who wasn't red pilled by a woman. I was red pilled by the military.
How about that? Let me ask you this: have you ever read the book? It's actually Matt Forney recommended this book to me, called Breakfast with the Dirt Cult.
Here, 1 second. I'll let the cat out. No, I haven't even heard of that one.
Oh, dude, you got to check it out. It's actually written by a guy who sort of like he was in the Canadian military, and he was red pilled by the military and by a woman. And it's called Breakfast with the Dirt Cult. It's unbelievable. I mean, I think I read it in 2 days. It's unbelievable, man. Like Matt, and I forget who it's by, but Matt Forney actually recommended that to me. So you're red pilled by the military. So I guess this is sort of an obvious question. What is this is a broad question, but what is your relationship like now as opposed to where it was before you found the red pill?
Oh, geez, yeah. So ups and downs, like everyone. For the most part, ups.
Good.
But so when I first started, I'm just the guy that your previous caller kind of wanted to be. I just wanted to have fun, work hard, and play hard.
There you go.
Like, I was sailing 180 days out of the year in like 2 weeks in, a month out, 2 weeks in, a month out. So I'd go on a date with a girl and I would have abundance because if we didn't hit it off that Saturday, well, I'm off to sea tomorrow,
There
so
you go.
I really don't have time to fuck around with these games. Couple bipolar girls, because everybody gets them. So like what 1 in 10 of the population of girls has like bipolar or is on their version of the spectrum.
Yeah, right.
820 girls, you're gonna have a few of them.
Yeah, it's a numbers game, right?
Yeah, and then during that time and this is where I kind of learned the lesson that they're really not on your team, because I was down, and it's when you're down, girls tend to start looking for the exit strategy.
Yep.
Can't really blame them, because as a guy, chances are you're the most irritable fucking guy when you're down anyway, so you make it really easy for them. But then since then, yeah, it's been I essentially burned my place to the ground, started new, and then during my MAP, the male action plan, I just spent that year building me up with dread, I guess is the best way to describe it, which was actually the topic of my 21 convention talk last year.
Was that the 12 levels of dread? Did that have anything to do with anything?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
the 12 levels of dread, but
Okay.
I didn't put it in such like a listicle form. I just explained it as a narrative, because I find that's a better way to talk, unless you're on the spectrum. And then in that case, people love top 10 reasons why she
Sure.
won't suck your dick or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and then the whole map and the whole thing was I'm choosing not to be taken for granted again, not to be taken
There you
advantage of. So, boot out of the military, move down to Toronto, get me the nice corporate life. And right now, I'm basically living right downtown. Like, I'm staring at the CN Tower as soon as I look out the window.
Nice.
Nice, expensive place. I've only ever lived in housing bubbles, so I'm used to that. And, got the nice job, wear the nice suits to work. And
Good. Very good.
then everything went up, because it was kind of, I guess it's, oh, geez, I'm going to ramble here. Wasn't
No,
really
go ahead,
ready
man.
to
You
answer
got
this one. But have you ever you've done martial arts, right?
Yeah.
Or mixed martial arts or anything like
Yeah,
that?
a little bit. Yep.
Okay, so I used to do Taekwondo. There was this thing you used to call a respect getter. If guy was always charging up to you, trying to get in your space, very
Right.
aggressive, give him a nice swift kick in the solar plexus, and it kind of forces him to play the range game a bit, so it buys you some space. This was a relationship version of a respect getter. Essentially knowing that, if this isn't working for me, I'll burn it down and
There you
start
go.
over.
That's right.
And then since then, she got on board, and we've had like a ride or die bitch relationship. I mean,
Good. Good. Very good. Now, let me ask you this. Does your wife know that you are red-pilled? Like, do you talk to her about this stuff? I mean, does she know about
she
the
actually
red pill?
set me up a new table for the podcast.
Oh, wow. Yep. That's
This
why it's
side's
ride
for
or
her-
die,
her
brother.
makeup stuff, and then this side's for me with all my trinkets.
How about that? See, that's the
Yeah.
thing, man, is that, and again, listen, this seamlessly segues into what tonight's topic is. How do you maintain that red pill edge when you live with a woman, when you are in a long-term relationship with a woman, when you are cohabitating, when you are married?
Yeah.
And listen, it's difficult. I mean, I'm obviously in one, and listen, man. I mean, from my perspective, it is. I don't want to say it's like.
Let's hear it.
Well, I don't want to say it's like walking on a tightrope, but you really have to have the mentality that, listen, just like you said, I can burn this motherfucker to the ground at any time for any reason, right?
Yeah, but you don't cudgel him with it either. That's the other thing. I kind of want to add that nuance, because some guy might just start walking in his house, strutting his shit, peacocking.
Well, see that. Listen, this is my weakness, right? Because I talk a lot, I yammer, I've got a temper, and listen, man. I probably tell my woman more than I should. That, hey, listen, I'll fucking leave right goddamn now. Da 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 da. Like I will tell her that when I get pissed off. And listen, I'm sure that's a weakness of mine, but again, this is how I operate. Now, is it going to come back to bite me in the ass one of these days? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it won't. But
Well, do you follow through?
well, no, she falls in.
Oh,
Yeah, she
a lot
falls
of
in.
guys talk. Push
Yeah.
comes to shove, if you follow through, then
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I will tell you this. She falls in every time. She is never not. She's never not fallen in. And if
Ah, so you've never
ever,
been tested.
well, she doesn't listen. If she decides to test me, then I will make an announcement. Hey guys, TSR Live is going to be taking 2 weeks off while I relocate. And again, I don't just say that just to be Mr. Fucking red pill tough guy. I'll fucking get the fuck. No, like I'm dead serious, man. If to me it's like this. If your woman is not on your program, and listen, man, I'm not perfect. Like I'm not right about everything, but I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And if there's something that she's doing or not doing, or something that I'm doing or not doing that's not making the relationship jive, then I gotta go. If that makes me unfair, if that makes me a tyrant, then so be it. But I'm not gonna be in a long-term relationship where I don't drive the bus. I gotta be in charge. I'm a control freak. You can either ride the train or you can stay on the platform. And so when and if she ever does test me and says, you know what? All right, well then go ahead and go. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that'll be the first and last time she tests me because I will absolutely bounce. You can count on that.
Fair enough. I'm taking your word on it.
All right. Oh,
no,
wait,
it's
she's kicking me out right now. I gotta go.
Well read you are in all this space either, because that kind of mirrors a lot of what one of the old beginning of the Rolo times.
Yes.
Ian Ironwood. Have you heard of the name?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
Yeah, marriage counselor. He actually was one of the first guys that started up the married red pill. Go figure. And I remember it was one of his things that he said that really stuck with. He was talking about what the red pill generally addresses, and that's
right.
Men in relationships. So back in the old days, in your grandfather's generation, the relationship worked because your dad worked, your mom took care of the kids. If she left your dad, the town would shun her because they don't like divorcees, and if your dad stopped feeding them, the town shamed him for not being a good man.
Right.
And if they left, that she would starve and he'd lose his family. There's all these social things that put it into place. And he goes, so now women earn money. And It's increasingly becoming the case where women earn more than men. So we've lost our one main tool we had to maintain dominance in a relationship, which tends to be the most sustainable and happy.
Okay.
And so his question was, and it's a good one, and it's kind of stuck with me, is how do you maintain a relationship without provisioning as your dominant factor? And I'm like, if you don't need somebody, then you have to want somebody.
Right.
And that's why I think I mentioned it. I'm probably going to be a little more vocal about it. The Chad Worthington, you basically got to be the prize.
Yes.
Always be in shape, be hot, have options. It taps into those two things that since the 80s and 90s and pickup that everybody has known, the two things that get women wet for guys are being hot and then having other girls want you.
There you go. That's exactly right. And here's the thing. It's funny that you mentioned that because my girlfriend, she makes great money. She makes more money than I do. Right? So, and a lot of people might say, oh my God, your woman makes more than you do. Trust and believe. I run this shit, man. And when it comes down to it, I am the prize. And women are attracted to many things about men. Fortunately for me and her, I embody a lot of those things. I'm above average looking, right? I'm in good shape, dominant frame. I'm take charge, blah, 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 blah. I don't bullshit around. I'm a man of my word. I'm reliable, et cetera, et cetera. And because I embody all of these things, this is what makes me valuable to her. Because here's the thing, my woman doesn't need me. Financially, no, she'd be just fine without me. But she moves heaven and earth to make sure I'm happy. Again, because I bring all of those other things to the table. Now, I might be one of the very few exceptions to the rule, and the exception doesn't make the rule. But this is how it's done. Yeah, no, it's not even that. Plus, that's the thing. I bet you, because I have this thought and I have a feeling I fucking know you think it. Can I swear on this? You're not going to get banned again from something? No, dude, I'm streaming on my platform. Nobody's banning me from shit. I bet you don't even think about your talents as if they were talents. They kind of feel like, they're average. They're not A-Rod, Barry Bonds level, but they're not the Alec Minasan either. They're in the middle. Right. Is that how you think of? Right. That's how I think of mine. Sure. No, I agree, man. And it's funny because when you own talent, when you own a trait, you don't value as much as maybe another woman would, right? It's not even value. It's you're used to, you've had real hardship and you kind of know that struggle, but this was kind of natural and smooth. And the point I'm getting with this, which is funny, I always say how it's the Pareto principle, 20% of the guys get 80% of the girls, that whole thing there. That's the thing. All these guys complaining, the incel types, and this is what bothers me about them tapping into your phone call. They're complaining about looks maxing and I'll never be hot enough because 6'2" Tyrone or whatever is hotter than me. People get out of your fucking way to compete. If you really want to be an attractive man, you don't have to compete to get there. Everybody just gets out of your way because the hot dog stand is across the way. That's right. All you have to do is put in a little bit of effort. Dude, listen, most men don't have the resolve to. Wait, say that again? I was just going to say, my diet, there's people that eat cleaner. My workouts, I'm not that strong compared to a lot of other guys. I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'9". Wow. Not exactly 6'2" Chad. I thought you were 6'8". But that's the point, is you don't have to be. I got notch counts around the way, around Rolo's number anyway. I kind of lost count there for a while, but it's not in the triple digits, which guys are pulling now with no effort. Right. All you have, a modicum of effort pays huge dividends. And sure, if you want to be that
top 5 percentile and spend all that energy, that's fine. But to get to 80%, just
doesn't take much
effort. Yeah, it doesn't take much. You don't have to put much, and your girl's sending you photos of heels and stockings on her bed there saying, I'm ready for you tonight, or whatever she said.
There you go.
I can't remember your tweet. I have the memory of a goldfish.
Listen, anyone who's seen my Twitter feed lately, you guys, and listen, the reason I'm actually doing that a lot more is to really show guys that, listen, man, like, I'm about my shit. A lot of guys do what we do, right? And they get on and they talk all this shit, oh, bitches this and bitches that, but I'm the guy, or I'm one of the guys who says, listen, I've been on the air now for 1.5 years, 2 years, talking about, I make my woman do this, I make my woman do that. Well, guess what, man? It's time, the proof is in the pudding. It's not like anybody challenged me and said, Donovan, you know who you say you are. No, that's, you're going to get naysayers all the time, but I do that to show authenticity. Like,
yeah,
again,
I like all the Redman group for that, because I remember when I first went to 21, I said that. I'm like, if Rollo's a fat fuck, I'm going to goddamn jump off a bridge. But like everybody, do you remember Robert Fisher, the guy who started the TRP subreddit?
No, I do not.
Okay, so the guy who started the Red Pill subreddit, his name was Robert Fisher. He was a New England, I think it was, something Republican. I don't know how the law works there. It's not a senator, not a governor, but something like low level.
Okay.
Anyway, so Daily Beast put out a hit piece on him because for some reason they had found his account. And that should illustrate exactly why the Redman group is a good group, because you guys, we don't make things up. We don't do bravado. We don't lie.
We don't do all that stuff.
We speak the truth.
Right. And
not because we're like better than anybody else, but because that's your best defense, is just not lying and not saying things you can't back up, which I think comes with the territory.
Listen, man, if we're going to put our face out on this platform, dude, you listen, eventually, if you're a fraud, it's going to come out. Like, I mean, at some point, it's going to come out. You can't, listen, you can craft your internet image as carefully as you want to, but if you're a fraud, it's going to show. There's no doubt about it. But again, one thing that I've always tried to do is I've always tried to be completely transparent with my audience. I tell guys this all the time. For every crazy Vegas cocaine fueled stripper, fake titted Vegas bitch that I fucked, there are 20 something failures with women that I could tell you about. Yeah, I fucked this dude. I'm telling you, I fucked this bitch and this and that same day lay. But I've also talked about the 28 no's that I got that day. The one girl who said, listen, sweetheart, you're not what did she say? You're not, she said you're not something enough, move along. Like, guys get blown out. So I think it's important to let men know about your failures as well as your successes, because a lot of guys, they say, I fucked this bitch and my closing percentage is 90%. Nobody really buys that. But if you lay your soul to bear, for the world to see and say, hey, look, man, like, I used to be where you are. I bought shit for bitches. I've been used by bitches, but here's where I am now. I think the message comes across as a little more authentic.
Yeah, maybe. It's weird though. There's that one group of people that doesn't care. They just need an excuse.
Yeah,
something reason to give up.
There you go.
And it's hard to separate those two. So I tend to err on the side of go fuck yourself. So,
it's
but then again, you're a kinder man than me that way. So big softy.
Others would beg to disagree. I put incels or bottom low level like turd flinging monkey type MGTOWs. I put them in with sluts because it's easy to be a slut. A lot of girls say, well, I'm not a 10. I don't have big tits. I'm not a 10, so I'm never going to get a high value guy. So I may as well just be a slut because I'm not going to get married anyway. Well, this is what these incels do. They say, well, I'm not 6'3". I'm not a Chad Thundercock. I don't bench 280 or whatever. So I'm just going to not do anything. I'm going to check out of the sexual marketplace. They're both very easy. So to me, that's an excuse. Man. Say again?
Did I lose you? Or?
No,
dancing pigeons.
Yeah, right. That's actually a very good way to say it.
For background, if anybody doesn't know, they had this experiment that was done in like the 40s or 50s where they had pigeons that pushed a button, got food, and then they had another one that it would randomly give out food. Sometimes when they pushed the button, like 25%, they were teaching intermittent words. And the thing is, the pigeons started developing these elaborate dances because they thought that influenced the pellets.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you have dancing pigeons in your window?
Like I said, maybe the guy... Like, I don't want to say turd flinging monkey because I don't want to be specific, but let's say the incel guy can't get laid for whatever reason. But he can't really figure out what the reason is, so he builds up these elaborate fantasies to kind of cope with that.
Yes.
And I'm actually surprised it got some traction. I put up a post from YouTube I found yesterday, which was a movie trope. Born Sexy Yesterday. And it's hilarious because you know how these guys are like, I'm MGTOW, I'm checking out, want a real doll, I'm doing my own thing.
Ay.
And then you look, it's like a movie trope that's been around since the fucking 40s.
Oh, dude.
It's like all of a sudden if I put on a G.I. Joe Cobra Commander balaclava and started going my own way with a laser pistol.
Dude, you're going old school with that Cobra Commander reference, man. God
Yeah, I
damn it.
love the 80s. But yeah, you look at it, Splash, the Neutron, all
Yeah.
this. It's just
Yeah.
and Lilu Dallas from Fifth Element. And that's kind of
Yeah.
the incel fantasy, a girl that is perfect, but she has like a childlike naivety to her.
Yeah, that's also sci-fi, right? Like, dude,
Yeah.
incels love that
But it's,
sci-fi.
it's not
hentai shit.
sci-fi
It's
anymore.
regular.
It's
Yeah,
fucking. It's like how cyberpunk, they're talking about that shit. No, that's pretty much here now.
that's
It's
weird.
a little bit grittier, not quite as cool. It has a Google logo, but
Like they get they get their sex dolls shaped like cartoon characters, or like not
They
a
have
real
waifu
woman.
sex
It's just
dolls?
say again.
They have waifu sex dolls.
Oh my god, dude! Why? Listen, that
Dude,
that
I thought I
episode
was
that was
in
the
on this.
first
I don't
time.
know what the fuck.
Dude, listen, that was the first time I'd ever heard. I was like, what is he talking about? Waifu was like did he say Wi-Fi? Like what the? Oh god, dude, that threw me for a fucking loop. It's interesting. It's interesting. Listen, it's interesting that you can actually show your face online. You're obviously in the corporate world. How are you able to pull that off? Because remember, Turd Flinging Monkey actually made a very good point. If you are in this sector of the web, you are either self-employed or unemployed. So how is Rian Stone able to walk the line?
Fuck you, fund.
There you go.
With a decent pension, not a great one, but a decent one. So
Okay. All right.
I mean, part of my map too was the not being taken advantage or taken for granted thing. So if I end up getting outed on my job, which I'm not sure how, I haven't really said anything I won't back up. Like, it may not be professional to say it at work, like calling somebody a cunt, but I don't say that at work. So if I get fired, I just take a year off and the thing blows over.
There you go.
I kind of got inspiration from Gary Vaynerchuk, of all people. I'm sure everybody knows him. He's that entrepreneur did the wine thing, and now he's all about brands on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Do you remember? I think I talked about it before in a Redman group with you. Do you remember that girl that she was talking about getting AIDS in Africa? She's like, oh, it's a joke. I'm white.
Oh my
Landed
god.
from the plane and then got
She was
her-
done.
lost her
She was
job.
gone. Yeah. Right.
2 weeks later, nobody even remembers her name. She's fine.
Yep.
I think
Listen, you gotta
people
let
are
it blow
focused
over, man.
Too much on that first 15 minutes to actually think it through. Like, what really, like, you'll lose a job, you'll get another job, or like, you're not going to die in a ditch. It's the States. You know how hard it is? Actually, in North America, you know how hard it is to die unless you're a drug lord on the border?
Yeah, pretty fucking hard, I would imagine.
Yeah. Plus, isn't that the whole part of man is having like a higher risk tolerance?
Well, again, right. This is the masculine conundrum. This is the masculine burden. Besides, if you lose your job in disgrace, that doesn't mean that whatever other company you apply to, oh, you're that Rian Stone character they saw in the Red Man group. We can't hire you. Okay, so if it happens, it's not going to happen a third time. So just like you said, let it blow over.
Yeah.
You know, the ignorant girl from Africa, you know, whatever the case may be, she's doing okay. You guys are watching TSR Primetime with special guest Rian Stone. At this time, I'm going to say goodbye to my Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook audience. If you guys want to watch the rest of the episode, come on over to donovansharpe.com. Again, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for the rest of the show. What's up, Miami J? If you guys want to watch the rest of the show, come on over to donovansharpe.com. And while I cut those feeds,